Hello, everyone. My guest today is Jack Parmer. He is the CEO of a company called Plot.ly. We're going to jump into it today. Jack, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yep.
All right.
Ready.
So tell us about the company. And do you say it Plot.ly or Plotly?
People say it both ways. I personally say it Plotly.
That's like annoying as hell. I figure, do it ever drive you crazy?
No, it's all right. I figure, Plot.ly has a little extra information, how to visit the website.
All right. So what's it do?
So we make the fastest growing charting libraries for the web and for data scientists. So if you make websites and you're looking for a charting library or you're using a charting library, there's a good chance you already use us. And our libraries are open source, so they're completely free. If you're a data scientist, you probably program in R, Python, or MATLAB. And if you make charts, there's probably a good chance that you come across this or you're already using us.
And are these charts people, like the data scientists inside of a team, will use to present at board meetings or team meetings? Or this is actually visualization for like in a blog post that consumers are reading, they're using it for onboarding?
It's both, but it's mostly the former.
So internal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like a good example is the data science team at Tesla uses us. So they all program in languages like Python, R, or MATLAB. And Plotly is kind of this communications platform where they make their graphs in Python or R, and then they can share them through Plotly with the rest of the team, other departments at Tesla, internally with themselves.
That's good. And what's the business model? Or is it a SaaS model?
It's both on-premise and SaaS, which is a little bit unusual.
On-prem, interesting. Why?
Yeah, well, we wanted to be a cloud company, but most of our customers are either they're in like aerospace, finance, or even someone like Tesla won't use a cloud product for their data science teams. They want something completely behind their firewall.
So you're literally going out to the office, installing a server room, helping them set all this up. I mean, it's literally an on-prem solution.
It's literally an on-prem solution.
Fascinating. What percent? Go ahead.
We use just a quick shout out. We use a service called Replicated to build our on-prem servers, and they're a really great service based in Los Angeles, I think. And anyone who does cloud and is thinking about doing on-prem should look at Replicated.
Now, is the on-prem model still monthly recurring? They pay you a monthly fee to keep it going?
It's yearly.
Okay.
And our cloud plans are yearly also.
Okay, good. So the model is still the same. One just has higher costs, so your margins are lower because you have to pay for the installation.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's essentially the same software too. We take our cloud server and package it up in a Docker container, and that's our on-prem product.
Interesting. Okay, what does the average customer pay you per year, would you say?
So for on-prem, it starts at about $2,000 a year for a minimum of 5 users, and then as you scale to more users.
So wait, so it's 10 grand a year minimum?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the minimum to get started.
And cloud?
Cloud, the starting plan's much cheaper. It's $400 a year to start.
Okay. And what if you look at your whole revenue pie as 100%, what percent of that comes from cloud versus on-prem?
Interestingly, it's about 50-50.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And so give me more of the backstory here on you. What year did you launch the company in?
I started working on it in 2012, started writing the software, and then we incorporated, at the very end of 2013.
And who's we? What's your team size today, and what the founding team look like?
So we're about 20 full-time, and then we sort of have a team of about another 10 contractors that mostly work on the open source libraries.
And everyone's in Canada?
The 20 are mostly in Canada. We have a VP of sales in Boston, a technical sales lead in New York, but yeah, everyone else is in Canada.
Okay, and have you bootstrapped the company, or have you decided to raise?
We bootstrapped the first year, and it was just myself and one of my co-founders, Alex Johnson.
How many total do you have?
Co-founders?
Yeah.
We have 4.
Holy mackerel. So there's 5 total?
Yeah, it took it's 4 founders total.
Including
myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. So what do? You just split it 25, 25, 25, 25, the lazy way?
Um, Alex and I were involved a little bit earlier. So it wasn't quite 25, 25, 25, 25, but it was close.
So basically, I mean, 30, 30, 20, 20, something pretty close.
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, interesting. So good, pretty fair. Now, you were building on your story there. I was imagining you're about to say we bootstrapped and then we raised X amount of money. How much have you raised?
We we raised 4.5 million seed, and then took on 1 million in debt.
Okay, got it. Why go the debt route instead of raising additional, equity?
It was venture debt, so we just did it as part of our round, and one of our VCs had a really good relationship with the
Who'd you
bank,
use?
and
Square One?
Silicon Valley Bank.
Silicon Valley Bank. Yeah, that's good. So just to be clear, you did the 4.5, and at the same time, you put on another million on top of that.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
kind of crazy covenants you regret?
No, not really.
It's working for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you would only take debt if you knew how to spend money and make more money with it at a rate higher than the debt interest payments. So how are you spending money to acquire customers, and what gives you the confidence that you know you can do that at a pace greater than the debt interest payment?
Well, we're actually cash flow positive, so we've got to a. I think we spent it in a pretty smart way. Most of it, the vast majority of it, is just on product and specifically the open source libraries. The only way that this company can work is if everyone is using our charting libraries, and they're truly the best thing out there. So early on, that was pretty much all we spent money on and all we focused on. Um, for go for go to market, the most efficient way that we found to spend that money for our product and industry was just making our content marketing and our documentation really, really, really good.
So no paid spend, no Facebook ads, no Google ads, nothing like that?
Yeah, and full disclosure, we tried it. We did all the experiments.
How much did you experiment with?
I would say since 2013, we probably spent 20 grand total on paid ads, trying different things.
It just didn't work.
It didn't really work. There are a few blogging sites where we've done banner ads, and the sites are so niche that it works, but it's not. It's never been as great as the content marketing SEO strategy for us.
The niche stuff is hard to scale. You have to keep finding new niche places to put the banner ad for it to work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you at today in terms of total customers? And let's just talk cloud, not on-prem.
Yeah. So we have several thousand cloud customers.
Okay. I mean, is it fair to say maybe between 3,000 and 6,000?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then I imagine you have a much lower number of on-prem, but it's 4x, 10x the revenue.
Right.
So is it, I mean, what, you have about 300 then on-prem?
In terms of the number of users at these companies total.
Oh, so that's 3,000. That's not logos. That's users inside of all the logos.
For cloud, yeah.
For cloud. Okay, got it.
The 3,000 to 6,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's fair. Now, you told me earlier the cloud makes up about 50% of your revenue, and if we just take minimums from what you just told us, you're half smiling because you know where I'm going with this. But if we take minimums with 3,000 customers at $400 a year, that puts you guys at what, about 100 grand a month or 1.2 million a year just on the cloud. If I double that puts you about 2.4 million in ARR. Pretty healthy, huh?
It's a little bit less than that.
Okay, but higher than 2.
It is around there.
Yeah. I was gonna say you have 15 days left in the year. You think you'll break 2 by the end of the year?
Yeah, we've broken 2 overall.
That's good
for the year, for sure.
That's good. And what are you growing at year over year, would you say?
If you count all of our revenue, it's been about 1.8 per year. So we've almost doubled every year.
Great.
Our first year we did basically nothing, less than $300,000.
And that was back in, what year was it actually? When did you launch? 2012?
We incorporated the end of 2013, and our first year of selling was 2014.
Okay, 2014. So 300 grand in 2014. You're now growing 80% year over year. We know today you're at about 2 million a year, so 160-ish, 170-ish per month. So you were at what, about 100 grand 12 months ago, monthly?
Yeah, overall, about.
And do you charge? So when you look at the model, do you is any of that revenue big chunks of professional services related stuff to installation on the on-prem, or no, it's mostly truly recurring?
It really depends. It's very seasonal. Sometimes part of installing an on-prem instance will be helping them with integration, or adding something to the open source libraries that they need. But it's pretty seasonal. And sometimes it's just, it's part of what we have to do to get the on-prem server in the door.
Yep. When you look at how quickly you like to get your money back when you put it out to acquire customers, what do you like to keep your payback period under?
Definitely under net 60.
Okay. 60 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Under 2-month payback period. I mean, that's great.
It's a lot of work.
Why?
To get that. Well, it's just, there can be kind of a surprising number of gymnastics when you sell enterprise software into large companies. Often the person you're selling to has no idea who works in procurement, who's, the person that's going to end up paying you. So it can just be a lot of time on the phone tracking down how to get paid if you want to get paid quickly.
Yeah.
It's just part of the enterprise sales.
Yep. And then if I back into that, right? So if at a 2-month payback or net 60 and you're spending and call it, people are paying you, call it 30, 40, 50, even $60 a month. If we took a weighted average across on, cloud and on-prem, I mean, you're spending 120 on acquisition fully weighted.
Oh man.
Or you don't look at it tell me how you look at it. Don't force, you don't have to answer my question if you look at it differently.
You mean the money to get customers in the door?
Yeah, fully weighted. So includes salaries of content people, stuff like that.
Well, I don't know exactly, but what I can say is we don't spend money on ads, as I already mentioned, and we have to make documentation for our product since it's really a product for programmers anyway. And we've been really lucky in that documentation has done really well in SEO.
Yeah.
So we don't do outbound sales. People start using our product, and oftentimes people come to us. Every day people come to us from companies who have already been using the software for several years. And I think if you just make a really great product and you have at least one strategy, for us, it's been SEO with, the thousands of documentation pages we had to write anyway.
Yep. So you're killing two birds with one stone. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your churn look like today?
It's varied a lot over time. For on the cloud side, for paying customers, it's about I think it's about 10% now.
Annually or monthly?
Annually.
Okay, that's healthy. And then on-prem is probably much stickier, right? Because it's a lot more work to get it going.
Yeah, more work to get it in, more work to get it out.
Yep. Hey, that's a blessing in disguise, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap up here, Jack, with the famous 5. Number 1, what's the last business book you read?
Oh man, I don't read business books. I just work on making the product great.
What's the last book you read?
Oh, let's see. All the Pretty Horses, Carson, the Southern Gothic writer. I'm blanking.
Yep.
Carson McCullers.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're currently following or studying?
Oh, Like everyone, I like watching what Elon Musk is doing. It's just it's just so inspiring.
Number three, besides your own, what's your favorite online tool?
Oh, uh, GitHub, it's fantastic.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I like to sleep a lot. I get 10 hours at least.
That's great. 10 hours. And what's your
Yeah.
situation? Married, single, you have kids?
I'm in a long-term relationship.
Okay, not married. Any kids or no?
No kids.
No kids yet. All right. And how old are you?
I'm 30.
All right, Jack, take us back 10 years. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
Oh man. I think I think it's someone I think I wish I knew at that age that I could have started my own company. I think it takes a long time for people to just build the confidence.
Yep. Yep. There you guys have it from Jack. Build your own company earlier if you can. Have confidence there. He founded Plot.ly back in 2014 when they incorporated. That was their first year of sales at about 300 grand. Their team now is up to 20 people based mostly in Canada, helping you both internally and externally visualize your data for communication, whether it's, again, to internal teams or to consumers externally for content marketing purposes. Super healthy economics in that they've passed 3,000 customers. They've passed a $2 million annual run rate, retaining over 90% of their customers year over year and getting paid back on any acquisition costs, which are already small, in under 2 months. Jack, thank you so much for taking us to the top.
My pleasure. Thanks, Nathan.